Hello, good morning. This is Siva Devaki from MassMailer. Uh, Today, I'm going to talk about the sender options and the multiple domain support in MassMailer. When it comes to the sender, meaning whenever you're trying to send an email in MassMailer, you will have to select who the sender would be. There are four types of different options that we have provided. And again, I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment. The first one is send as the logged in user. So whoever is the logged in user in Salesforce, provided they have a MassMailer license, they will be able to send emails, and also they can select the logged in user as the sender. You can also have a common sender defined in MassMailer. So meaning, let's say you want to send an email from some sort of an alias, such as you know info@yourdomain.com or sales@yourdomain.com or marketing@yourdomain.com. Some common sender, or maybe it could be an individual email address, a person's email address that's commonly used. And you can define those common senders in MassMailer setup, and then that can be selected as one of the senders. You can also manually enter who the sender is, provided that email that you're entering is coming from your sending domain, which is authenticated already by MassMailer. So you can basically just enter the sender email and the reply email. You can also select the sender as a custom sender. So meaning the way you can send as a logged in user, but by default, we just use the standard name and the email address from the logged in user. But if you want to send it from, say, a different field from the user object, then you can always select those specific fields from the user object, or even from the target emailing object. So let's say you're sending out email from you're sending out emails to contact, but contact has another field such as the sales rep, and you want to send email from the sales rep, you will be able to do that, or from the owner ID kind of thing, right? The contact owner ID, that's an option too, or maybe some other custom field that you would have defined, or maybe from the account owner of that contact. So, basically the email that you're going to select as the sender is flexible when you're actually sending selecting the custom option. Okay. The UI would look something like this. You can see the sender options, select sender. In that particular section, logged in user, common sender, account owner, on behalf of, or even the custom. Okay. And now, talking with the multiple sending domains. So the theory behind sending domain is that once we onboard you as a client on MassMailer, you will be selecting a specific sending domain that you can use as a sending domain. That needs to be authenticated. At a high level, authenticating means that you're telling the internet world or the recipient servers that, hey, I own this domain. I'm using so-and-so IP address, which is owned by me, or I purchased this IP address, and then I'm the valid sender, right? So that's what authentication means. So you can add as many domains as possible as the sending domain. With an additional cost involved, though, you've got to purchase the add-on. It's quite inexpensive. And basically, every domain that you plan to use as a sending domain, you got to authenticate, which will help you with. We'll send you the DNS settings that are required in order for you to set it up on your hosting server. It's recommended that you use a different IP address for each domain. That way, you keep the reputation intact for each domain, and the overall email deliverability would be improved. So that's how about the sending domains. Basically, the answer is yes, you can use multiple sending domains, but we just have to do the setup that is needed, and then most likely you would just get a separate IP address for each one of the domains that you're actually sending from. So that's about the support of sending domains in the MassMailer. Let's take a quick look at MassMailer sender options. So this is the contact used to send emails. Again, I could use a list view, or I could actually just send a one-off email. Either one of them would work. The concept is the same. There's no difference. So in this particular contact, I have a custom sender name, sender email address, sender reply to. I've just defined this is a custom. And also I have a custom field on the user object that's called outreach email. So that's the custom field that I created on the user object. So this is basically to demonstrate how custom would work. So otherwise, let's just say you want to send an email to a list of contacts, and you may have defined the list view, and then you would go to outreach wizard. Again, if you're sending it from the outreach wizard, but if you're sending it from other interface such as the campaign or the Salesforce list view, that's okay. It's all the same. The concept is the same. So let's say you select a contact object, and then we would select a list view. I have one contact in this particular list view, and you could have as many as possible. And then here, I'm just gonna go type in, just say sender options test one. I would just say test one, then go to the next step here, skip this section, and then we are on the sender options. So here you can see there are 4 different options here. You can send as the logged in user. This is the most common. Whoever is the logged in user, they would just use this option. Or you could actually define common sender, and the common senders are listed in a drop down here. You could define as many common senders as possible, or you could actually send as a record owner. So the contact owner, whoever is the record owner, would be the sender here. Or you could actually just type in any name and then email address, provided that email address is valid. And the reply to, again, this needs to be valid. So as long as you type in the valid email address for this off option, the from address and the reply to, you should be good to go. And then the custom option. So custom option is what we were discussing on, how you can actually send it from a specific custom field from the user object or even the current object. So I think the rest of the options are kind of self-explanatory, and I'm actually going to show you how to define a common sender. So let's just take a look at the custom here. So let's say you want to send email from a field on the user object. So let's just say you want to select a name, the username, and then the address. Let's say you want to send email, but select the outreach email as the sender, and then reply to also you want to do maybe to the outreach email, right? Because that's that you've defined on the user. So that's what I selected for all these 3 options when it comes to custom. And then I would just go to the next step. And then this is all default. You're sending it now. And next step. And then you click finish. So basically, what we have selected is the outreach email field on the user. As you can see, This is the user that I have, the logged in user, and then the outreach email is defined as this. The email I'm receiving would have this as the sender. Uh, so here, so I have I have received this email. As you can see, sender is what I've got yet, but it's sending it to me, right? MassMailer. So that's the sender options that you can see that we've selected as one of them. Now, let's take a look at the custom field on the object itself. So let's say you want to send email to this particular contact. Now I'm showing you object. Again, it's one and the same. You can send it from list to, it doesn't matter. So here we have the sender name, sender email, and sender reply to as a custom field on the object, right? Let's say you're sending out email to this particular contact, send me a mass mailer. Next step, we have one record selected already, and the template I'm just going to type in. So sender options, custom field on the object. Okay. I'm just going to go type in next step, next step. So here we go to the custom, and then the current object is what you're going to select, and the name field could be the sender name, which is a custom field, and custom object, and the email field again, sender email, and then the current object custom field, the reply to, send reply to. So now I've selected the custom field on the current object. And if I did this, and then I go to the next step, I click finish. Okay. So this is my email subject. So I'll go back here, inbox, and then sender options, custom field on the object. As you can see, the sender is MassMailer, hello at massmailer.io. And if you go back to the particular contact, from here you can see MassMailer is the sender, and the sender email and reply to is hello at massmailer.io. So that's how you're basically sending it from a custom object. And now, how do you define those common senders in MassMailer? So you go to MassMailer setup, and then go to email settings, sender settings, and then here is where you can actually do common senders. It's quite easy. So all you just start to select this, and sorry, click on that plus, and then enter anything. So it could be, you know, whatever, right? My company name. And then the email address that you have, let's say it is at mansosys.com. And then the reply to could be the same, or it could be a different one. It doesn't matter. So whatever that is required as per the requirement. And then just save it. So that will define a common sender. And this would show up when you actually go to the outreach. This is the one that we added my company. So let's just quickly take a look. So outreach, next target object contact, so sender options test, next, and we're just testing the common sender demo. Type in demo, next on senders, and then here it would show my company as one of the options. So right here, my company, you select that my company, and it's going to display the option. So that's how you basically select the the common center option. And rest of them are self-explanatory, but I don't really have to explain much. And again, in common, in the custom, you do have an option to select a common sender. So if you did select it from here, that would basically select my company as a name. And the common sender, if you select that, it basically selects the actual common sender from this my company. So that's an option as well. You could very well do this, and you can send an email, but it's actually going to send it from this email address, and this is a reply to. Um, you know, we could send an email like that for the common senders in the custom as well. Okay. So those are the kind of various options that we have, and again, feel free to give us your feedback on this feature or any other features. And if you are interested in joining our webinar, this every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. The next topic would be published on our website, and also you would receive an email if you're in the email list. I also we post it to our social channels. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. And any questions, feel free to contact us. Here is our contact information, the website address, and the email address, the company email address, or even my personal email address. Once again, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.